This is the final Exodus.
This morning, a major escalation in President Trump's global trade war, with the president releasing a letter announcing a 50% tariff on imports from Brazil starting August 1st.
There's a major escalation in Donald Trump's trade war? What? Let's listen to that again.
This morning, a major escalation in President Trump's global trade war, with the president releasing a letter announcing a 50% tariff on imports from Brazil starting August 1st.
Brazil? Brazil? We're in a war with Brazil? Why would that be?
Mr. Trump specifically pointing to the ongoing prosecution of one of his longtime allies, Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro. A show of support for the far-right politician who's been barred for running for office in Brazil this decade.
50% tariffs to show support for a politician? Does that make sense?
Mr. Trump specifically pointing to the ongoing prosecution of one of his longtime allies, Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro. A show of support for the far-right politician who's been barred for running for office in Brazil this decade and is facing charges for an alleged coup to overturn his 2022 election loss, which he denies. The president calling Bolsonaro's trial before the Brazilian Supreme Court, quote, a witch hunt that should end immediately, echoing his own defense against accusations he tried to overturn his 2020 election loss to Joe Biden.
It's a political witch hunt.
The president previewing the moves yesterday at the White House.
Welcome back. I'm Mitch, and this is the final Exodus. Today is June 12th, 2025, and there's so much going on, but the Lord has been showing me what I need to show you. So pay attention. But before we get into this, I want to ask you, are you armored up? Are you ready for what is coming upon the earth? The revelation of Jesus Christ? Because it's right at the door. Right now, we are waiting for the wind to blow. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should take a look at the Four Winds of Heaven series that I did. Check out that playlist. But also, if you haven't watched the previous two videos that I've done in the Beast Rising playlist, you should see those, because I'm realizing that most people don't know this immense economic war that has been happening, is happening, and is going to happen on the earth. And it's going to result in the rise of a beast government, and you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast. And so these are just preliminary moments that we're watching, and I'm here to show you what they are. So let's get started and go a little further in this video.
Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all.
It's the first time the president has explicitly imposed a steep tariff to punish another country for a legal proceeding he dislikes. Brazil's president saying in a statement the country would respond and, quote, will not accept being abused by anyone.
This is getting very serious, but it's probably way worse than most of you understand.
President Trump also sending letters to 7 other countries, none of them major U.S. trading partners, explaining how those new tariffs were calculated.
He sent letters to 7 other countries?
President Trump also sending letters to 7 other countries, to 7 other countries, to 7 other countries, none of them major U.S. trading partners, explaining how those new tariffs were calculated.
None of them are major U.S. trading partners. Why would they get letters?
None of them major U.S. trading partners, explaining how those new tariffs were calculated.
But what is really going on here? Let's go to another press conference to see if we can learn a little bit more.
Mr. President, on the tariff issue, so you talked about India coming, but then a couple days ago you issued a new tariff threat to members of the BRICS countries for if they aligned with anti-American policies.
10% charge.
That would be India, Brazil,
That's
Russia,
right, they have to pay 10% if they're in BRICS. Because
Right.
BRICS was set up to hurt us. BRICS was set up to degenerate our dollar.
Oh, that's what's going on. It's a war with the BRICS nations. But wait, do you guys all know what the BRICS nations are?
and take our dollar as the standard, take it off as the standard.
This is a war between the dollar and the BRICS. Well, not exactly.
BRICS was set up to degenerate our dollar and take our dollar as the standard, take it off as the standard.
What is really happening here? Let's keep listening.
And that's okay if they want to play that game, but I can play that game too. So anybody that's in BRICS is getting a 10% charge.
Is that immediate, sir? Or is
Yeah,
that
pretty soon.
if they engage in some behavior?
Well, if they're a member of BRICS, they're going to have to pay 10% tariff just for that one thing. And they won't be a member long.
If they're a member of BRICS, they have to pay a 10% tariff just for that one thing. And they won't be a member long.
Well, if they're a member of BRICS, they're going to have to pay 10% tariff just for that one thing. And they won't be a member long. I thought BRICS was, I said this about a year ago, and it largely broke up. But, there are a couple that hang around, but I thought it largely broke up. BRICS is not, in my opinion, not a serious threat. But what they're trying to do is destroy the dollar so that another country can take over and be the standard. And we're not going to lose the standard.
The BRICS nations want to overthrow the dollar as the standard of global currency.
At any time, if you have a smart president, you will never lose the standard. If you have a stupid president like the last one, you would lose the standard. You wouldn't have the dollar as you.
But what if we lost the dollar as the standard of the global currency? What then?
And if we lost the world standard dollar, that would be like losing a war, a major world war. We would not be the same country any longer.
That would be like losing a world war.
That would be like losing a war, a major world war. We would not be the same country any longer. A major world war, a major world war, a major world war. We're not going to let that happen. The dollar, you ever hear the expression, dollar is king? The dollar is king. We're going to keep it that way, okay? And I'm just saying, if people want to challenge it, they can, but they're going to have to pay a big price. And I don't think any of them are willing to pay that price.
You heard it, but I wonder if you know. Do you know what the price is that they're going to have to pay if they challenge the central bank-backed currency, the petrodollar? The Bible tells us. Stay tuned, guys. I've got a lot more to show you. This is just the beginning, and we're just scratching the surface. So I hope to see you soon. I'm praying for you. Pray for me, and hopefully I'll see you soon. God bless.